They told us thoughts were just fleeting sparks, random, intangible, invisible. But ancient wisdom, long buried beneath layers of modern noise, whispers a different truth. Your thoughts have form. Every idea, every belief, every emotion constructs an energetic pattern within your mental field. Sacred geometry isn't only out there, in mandalas, pyramids, or galaxies. It lives inside your mind. It's the blueprint behind every internal experience, and it shapes the reality you walk through. Close your eyes. That image forming behind your eyelids. It isn't just imagination, it's architecture. Ancient mystics saw the mind not as a foggy maze, but as a temple built from fractals and frequencies. What you think, you structure, and what you structure, you vibrate. Thoughts become waves, waves become fields, fields become form. Modern science calls it neuroplasticity. Esoteric traditions call it mental alchemy. Either way, the message is the same. Your inner geometry defines your outer life. The question is, who's doing the designing? Are your thoughts your own? Or are you walking through someone else's blueprint? When ancient initiates entered mystery schools in Egypt or Greece, they weren't taught only philosophy. They were taught shape, circles, triangles, spirals. They were shown how each geometric form reflected a deeper truth of the universe. The circle wasn't just a symbol, it was unity. The triangle, manifestation. The spiral, evolution. But what they truly mastered was how these forms mapped the mind itself. Modern neuroscience says your brain is constantly rewiring, forming synaptic pathways. But what if those neural paths aren't random? What if they form geometric circuits, energetic glyphs, that determine how you perceive, react, attract, or block experiences? Your habitual thoughts may be looping through squares, rigid, stuck patterns, or flowing through golden ratios that harmonize with universal rhythm. This isn't metaphor. EEG scans show thoughts emit frequencies, and frequency has shape. Cymatics, the science of visible sound, shows us how vibration arranges matter into perfect geometry. Your thoughts are frequencies. Therefore, your thoughts have shape, and those shapes either resonate with reality or fight against it. In ancient India, the concept of yantras, geometric diagrams used for meditation, was more than just spiritual art. These sacred shapes were believed to be the actual architecture of thought forms. Each line, curve, and intersection channeled intention like an antenna receiving signals from higher realms. The Sri Yantra, for example, is not merely a symbol, it's a mind map, a tool to realign fragmented thoughts into cosmic order. Modern physics mirrors this ancient wisdom. Quantum field theory suggests the universe is fundamentally a field of vibration. Your mind? A participant in that field. What you think creates ripples in the field, just like a stone dropped in water. And here's the twist. The pattern of those ripples is geometric. Thoughts of fear, shame, envy, they ripple out in chaotic, dissonant shapes. But love, clarity, peace, they ripple as mandalas, sacred geometries that invite coherence. This is why some people's presence instantly feels uplifting. It's not charisma, it's geometry. Their internal thought forms are vibrating in sacred symmetry, harmonizing with the field around them. And you? You can train your mind to do the same, not with affirmations alone, but with intention shaped into pattern. Subscribe for more ancient truths decoded into modern awakening. So how can you begin to reshape your thought forms into sacred geometry? It starts with observation. When a thought enters your mind, don't judge it. Feel its shape. Is it sharp, erratic, or jagged? Or is it smooth, fluid, circular? The quality of your thoughts reflects in the subtle geometry they produce. And the first key is awareness, to stop letting thoughts run on autopilot. Breathing techniques can help. Ancient pranayama wasn't just for relaxation. It was a tool to control the shape and flow of mental energy. Inhale deeply and slowly, and visualize your breath creating concentric waves of symmetry. Meditation deepens this. By holding a single image, sound, or geometric form in your mind, you train your thoughts to organize into coherence. This is why monks stare at mandalas, not for decoration, but to mirror the divine structure inside. Sound frequencies also sculpt mental geometry. Listening to tones like 432 Hz or 528 Hz while meditating can help rewire chaotic patterns. It's not placebo, it's resonance. Your brainwaves sync to the geometry of sound. Combine that with visual focus and conscious breath, and you begin to reshape the architecture of your inner world. Every thought you think emits a frequency, and every frequency creates form. This isn't metaphysical poetry, it's measurable. The brain produces electromagnetic waves that radiate beyond the skull. These waves interact with your nervous system, your environment, even with others' energy fields. Now imagine those waves as lines, spirals, and fractals, building invisible architecture around you. Most people's minds create chaotic, asymmetrical shapes, which manifest as anxiety, confusion, and energetic blockages. But when your thoughts become coherent, focused, intentional, and harmonized, the geometry they create becomes sacred. Think of it like tuning an instrument. A misaligned thought pattern is like a broken string, but tuned thoughts, ones rooted in clarity and emotional alignment, resonate like a symphony. Sacred geometry isn't just out there in the pyramids or flower of life diagrams. It's inside your head, sculpting your aura, shaping your decisions, influencing what you attract. This is why spiritual teachers always emphasize purifying the mind. They're not just talking about morals, they're pointing at energetic mechanics. A purified thought stream emits symmetrical harmonic frequencies. This is what ancient mystics meant when they spoke of thinking in alignment with the divine mind. Geometry is the signature of divinity, and your thoughts, when cleansed and concentrated, can begin to match that divine blueprint. What you consistently focus on becomes form, not only psychologically but geometrically. In the unseen realm, every thought leaves a trace, like a trail of light etched into your energetic field. When those thoughts repeat, especially when amplified by emotion, they carve grooves. These grooves become the default blueprint your mind follows. That's why changing your mindset isn't just thinking positive. It's about altering the foundational shapes being drawn in your inner world. Ancient initiates practiced this intentionally. Through meditation, chanting, breath control, and visualization, they would shift their inner geometry to resonate with divine structures. Some saw visions of sacred patterns while in trance, spirals, grids, or interlocking circles. These weren't hallucinations. They were glimpses into the coding system of consciousness itself. The more aligned your mental patterns become with these sacred forms, the more effortlessly you access higher awareness, healing, and intuitive knowing. Modern science is just beginning to catch up. Studies in somatics show how frequencies generate geometric shapes in matter. Your brain, your heart, even your DNA, all emit frequencies. Your thoughts modulate those frequencies. So yes, your thinking literally shapes your energetic reality. Sacred geometry isn't symbolic, it's structural. And if you want to change your life, you have to begin by changing the invisible shapes your thoughts are sketching in the field of your mind. When you awaken to the patterns your mind is drawing, you become a conscious architect of your reality. But most people remain asleep, reacting to old emotional scripts, repeating inherited beliefs, and unknowingly reinforcing chaotic shapes in their energy field. These distorted geometries attract matching chaos in their outer life. Ever wondered why some people seem trapped in constant cycles of drama, failure, or illness? It's not always external. It's internal architecture expressing itself through the mirror of experience. Here's where ancient wisdom becomes power. When you recognize that your recurring thoughts are not random, but sacred blueprints in disguise. And when you combine intention with practice, when you sit, breathe, focus, visualize, you are literally redrawing the structure of your inner universe. You don't have to fix everything at once. You only need to create one coherent pattern, one geometric signal strong enough to shift the whole field. This is how healing happens. This is how destiny changes. Think of it like tuning an instrument. One misaligned string creates dissonance, but align the strings and music flows. Your thoughts are those strings, and sacred geometry is the invisible sheet music guiding them. The ancients knew this. That's why their temples, mandalas, and rituals were all designed geometrically, not for aesthetics, but because structure holds energy. And when your inner structure aligns with cosmic order, the world around you begins to flow in harmony too. Once you understand the architecture of thought, you can no longer think unconsciously. You realize that every idea, every fear, every desire is shaping something, either a doorway or a wall. Sacred geometry is not just symbols, it's a living code inside you. And if you listen closely, you can feel which thoughts create harmony and which create distortion. This awareness gives you the power to choose, not just what to think, but what to become. Now imagine using this knowledge daily, in your meditations, your decisions, your relationships. Imagine constructing a reality that reflects your higher self, because you finally aligned your mental patterns with the divine template. The ancients left us maps, mandalas, glyphs, rituals, and all of them point to one truth. You are not just a thinker, you are a builder, a shaper of energy, a weaver of worlds. This is the forgotten secret hidden behind every temple wall and inscribed in every mystical text. The real alchemy is not changing lead into gold. It's turning fragmented, chaotic thoughts into radiant, harmonious intention. It's turning your inner confusion into sacred order. When you start living this way, everything changes. Your energy field shifts, your outer world adapts, synchronicities multiply, and you become what you were meant to be, a conscious creator. If your thoughts shape your reality, what kind of world are you unknowingly creating every day?